Stop copying your grandfather's marriage. In a world your grandmother never lived in, you want a traditional wife? Then marry one. Don't pick a woman with a PhD, a six-figure income, a global passport, and 2 startups, and expect her to transform into your barefoot, apron-wearing housewife overnight. That's not partnership, that's poor planning. Let's break it down. 1. Modern roles have shifted. Stop using ancient blueprints. You're living in 2025, not 1925. In today's world, she might get hired faster, she might earn more, she might carry the household during financial storms. That doesn't make you weak, it makes reality real. If she works the same hours you do, don't expect her to come home, cook, clean, maintain the kids, while you scroll TikTok and call it masculinity. That's not leadership, that's laziness wearing a traditional mask. 2. Stop building your marriage around ought to. Ought to is a disease. She ought to cook because she's the woman. He ought to pay because he's the man. We ought to act like our parents did. No. Your marriage is not a museum. It's a mission. It's not about how things ought to be. It's about how things ought to be and how to make them fair, functional, and fulfilling. If both of you are working, both of you should be building the home. Not quoting outdated proverbs, not fighting imaginary culture wars, not keeping score. Marriage is not theory. It's daily grace. 3. Leadership isn't dictatorship, it's strategy. Yes, let the man lead, but leadership is not control. A real leader delegates by strength, builds trust through results, creates space for his partner to shine. If you're the better communicator, guide the tough conversations. If she's the better financier, let her run the books. If you're better with the kids, lead them with your full chest. Leadership isn't doing everything yourself, it's ensuring everything gets done well. 4. Great marriages. Don't settle at 100. Entitlement kills marriages. He says, I paid the bills, that's enough. She says, I bore the children, that's enough. Wrong. Healthy marriages begin where fairness ends. Great marriages give 101%. If your partner is weak in one area, you fill the gap. If you're weak in another, they fill yours. It's not me versus you, it's us versus the chaos. 5. You don't have to choose between tradition and reality. You can still believe in masculine leadership and understand that leadership adapts when both partners carry weight. You can still value feminine softness and accept that the modern world requires her to be tough outside and tender at home. Tradition isn't dead. Blind tradition is. Let your values guide your home, not choke it. Final word, build a marriage that works. Not one that looks good on paper. You don't owe society a performance. You owe your partner peace. Forget the Instagram reels, forget the cultural pressure, forget the ought to. You're not called to replicate your grandfather's marriage. You're called to build your own, with the realities, constraints, and opportunities of your generation. Let the man lead, let the woman grow, let the home evolve. Because the only traditional marriage that survives in 2025 is the one wise enough to adapt and strong enough to stop keeping score.